Yeah, what's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I don't know what's going on. They're not giving out the notifications. Now, I was supposed to put it in the short format, not in the long format. However, it was meant for it to go this way. I don't want to redo it. Once I start it, we're going to go from there. I appreciate the two people that's in the building. I don't know if they're giving out all notifications. It seemed like they're not giving out all notifications because I should have more than two people in the chat. So we're going to get right to it. Hopefully the people get the notification within a certain amount of minutes. Appreciate the people that hit the like button on their way in. Let me just say this, right? We're going to be straight up. When you work this 9 to 5, unless you are making serious money, I'm not talking to you. If you're not making as much money, that's who I'm talking to, because they are going through it right now. When you get paid, the first thing you have to make sure is your bills being paid. 80% of your bills have to be paid. 10%, you try to do whatever you can with it. And the other 10%, you have a lady, you have children. That's where it goes to. Right? Now, you spending 80% of your time at the workplace. 10% with your lady or children. 10% to get some rest. If you're not doing something on the side. If you're doing something on the side, that's 5% and 5% rest. So the majority of people today that's doing okay is known to spend more time paying their bills and spending more time working and not trying to be creative for themselves. And see, in order to be creative, you got to get around creative people that you support, that support you, and come up with ideas in order to get out of this situation of being stuck at these places. Because we made those decisions to be stuck because of fear. In most cases, people won't admit it. It's because of fear and doubt. They don't believe in themselves to get to the next step. And at the end of the day, it's important to get to the next step. We should not be staying in a place that is no longer welcoming of you winning. Jobs are not meant for you to win. Jobs are to spend time making somebody else do well, and then you're paying your bills to these people. So they're getting you with a double whammy. So basically, let's keep it real. You're working for free. Technically, you're working for free because your bills is going right back to the company you work for. When you pay your bills, that's how they get paid back. So technically, you're working for free. Now, if you're a high earner because you put in the work to become a high earner, you're in a different bracket. You're in a different situation. So the conversation with you will be totally different than those who's making under six figures. This is who the conversation for. The people that is making 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, 90,000 a year. You better off starting your own business, being creative, and make that type of money than working for somebody making that type of money. Because when you open up a business, you will be in the red for at least a year or so, maybe two tops. And then you start making sure everybody else around you good. You take care of what you need to take care of. And the next thing you know, after that second year, you start seeing the momentum. In most cases, if you have a decent amount of people within a year, you start seeing results. Because when I ran a business, the Valley business, within 2 years before the shutdown, I started seeing prominent, you know, results. So what I'm saying is, if you are working minimum wage or you working a little bit above minimum wage, I'm here to tell you that in 2026, having one check is not going to get you far. You're going to want to adjust that one check and get something on the side to do if possible, so that that check would not be your majority of your income, because you know 80% is going to your bills and you spending 80% of your time at the workplace, whether you're in a relationship with someone or not. That's the truth. So my suggestion is to get into something more high end earning, see what it's about, get into some skill to where you could make your own decision on your own time and get some connects with folks. Because I'm telling you, 9 to 5 sitting there, whether you sitting there at the office, whether you security, valet, the list goes on. Unless you're in a high end, productive place where tips is coming in, hospitality is coming in, and you don't have to depend on your check. That's a better scenario. Yet we know that most people ain't tipping because they have their own situation going on with their own economics. So there's a lot that come into these situations. The point I'm trying to tell you is that these people are not meant for you to win. A lot of companies don't want you to win. You could be the best performer. You may get $1 raise. You may get a 35-cent raise. You may get a 45-cent raise. What's that going to do for you? It don't benefit you. And so a lot of people are seeing people from other places, and it's true, where the country gave over 90 trillion to people from other parts of the world, and the people that migrated here illegally, then they come in correctly, and they living better than you. You got to go through loopholes to get a vehicle. You got to go through loopholes to get a place. You got to go through loopholes to get in a relationship with somebody, let alone the opposite sex get in a relationship with you. They got to go through loopholes. Both parties got to go through loopholes. And so while you going through all those situations, somebody that don't know your lingo, know your plight, is doing better than you. Sure, they working high numbers. They don't mind living together for the time being. and have 10, 15 of them in one location, a small apartment, small duplex, whatever the case may be. At the same time, you, the taxpayer, is paying for their rent. You're paying for the insurance. You're paying for their vehicle. So while the money is not going in your kid's pocket or your pocket, it's going in their pocket. And that's what's going on. And see, we know Trump is cleaning up house. Yeah, it's going to take time to see the results. And people right now is seeing it. You got a lot of so-called black people finally waking up and getting out of that Ibarasi plantation, getting out of that liberal Ibarasi plantation and becoming conservative, which our people is conservative by nature. And so the point I'm trying to get y'all to see is that these jobs, these places, is not going to benefit you in the long haul. You're going to have to figure out what's going to be, like Ringo said, what's going to be your best solution for you. You don't want to be my age going into the site. You don't want to be my age dealing with nonsense. A lot of you people that watch me in your 30s, your 20s, you have a lot of energy. Don't usurp all your energy to these companies, these places. Now, if you're making tips or you got a hustle where you're making their money, that's different. However, you don't want to be in the 40s working, getting up doing the same thing every day, and you're not seeing no results because you know where it's going to. So just keep it real. We got Corey in the building. Majority of men and women, when they get paid, it's going to the bills and it's going back to work. So you're basically working for free. Yes, we're supposed to be responsible as men, as women. At the same time, we're not getting anything done because they are not supposed to help you. You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself. And it's important to teach the children to become independent. If you have kids, you know, they have age, they have knowing good and evil. They know of these things. This is the best time to teach them so that they don't fall into the traps and snares that's out there for them. Just how we navigate with these places, people and things. Okay? So we got Corey in the building. Salute to Corey. It's not too many people, Corey, because I have it on long format. I didn't have it on short format. That's on me. And let me get this video. I want to show y'all something. Let's see if it's still available. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear, Corey. You can hear me loud and clear, right? Put a 5 in the chat. You can hear me loud and clear. All right. I want y'all to listen to what this young guy have to say. All right, this is a young guy who is in the workplace and he's starting to see it real early. Most of us didn't catch on to it till later on to what's really going on, all right? All right, let me get it ready. It should be good to go. All right, so without further ado, we're going to play this clip. Let's hear what this young man had to say. He just recently started a YouTube channel, all right? Now we're going to hear what he has to say. All right, let's go.
I'll tell you, bro, I am tired of settling for just little minimum wage jobs and jobs that don't really pay nothing much. You know what I'm saying? It's really kind of exhausting because considering the fact that like I'm in school now, you know what I'm saying? I'm not out of school no more. I'm not just working just to work. And really, when I was just working just to work, I didn't even save none of my bread for real. I really didn't. Like when I first got out of high school, like life hit me like a train. So like between helping around the house and not really having like a good stable job, barely working any hours, I really wasn't able to bring like in like a lot of income. So by the time I got paid every like 2 weeks, I really had nothing to my name. Like literally, while everybody out having fun, living the best life, what I'm saying, exploring, going to college and all that. I'm at the house broke, tired, stressed and drained, and like all this other junk because I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. You feel me? And they just taught me how to go harder. I just had to keep applying for jobs, and in this economy, what I'm saying, people hiring but they ain't hiring. You feel me? And you got to like, just do like these little BS entry level jobs that don't want to get back to you, saying that you need experience or this and that. When nigga, you ain't got the experience for it, but like you need the job. It's like it don't make sense to me, bro. And eventually, like around that time, I found a job at Olive Garden. I was working two jobs at the time, Ross and Olive Garden. I was making some stable bread. You know what I'm saying? Them sips came in clutch. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got paid daily, bro. I felt like the damn man, bro. I swear to God.
The daily pay does help out. If a lot of companies were to do daily pay, that's one thing I could say in the South. If you're in a southern state, most companies in the southern states pay daily pay. That does help out a lot. I think companies should look into that. That does help out a lot when you get daily pay. Let's continue.
Um, and it was cool. So I found me a full time job. I worked at the hospital from I think February of this year to like June, and it was the most money I ever touched, like consistently on a every 2 weeks basis. I'm talking about like a band every 2 weeks. Like that was basically like my little warehouse job at the high school. Like the little cannon event like everybody go through. You know what I'm saying? Type stuff, and it was cool. But I ain't gonna okay. I'm gonna stop myself right there. It opened a lot of doors to where like I was comfortable to do whatever I wanted to. Like a great example is like a lot of 18-year-olds really don't have the opportunity to what I'm saying, like go out and spend money how they want. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember like sometimes I'd be with my girl in Atlanta.
When I was a teenager, my first gig was ABC. I did ABC security. I worked at the residential for like 1 or 2 months, and then that same company I worked for got me into ABC. You know, I did ABC security at West End Avenue. After high school. So yeah, that's my first gig, security. At 19. Just like yesterday, I worked on 23rd in First Avenue doing security there, residential building for 2 months, and then I went to ABC Western Avenue. What I met Joy Behare, Whoopi, all the people, all my children, The View. I got to meet all those people. As the world turns, yeah. And then they had a show besides The View. They had another show. It was a lot of stuff going on. So I worked at that. That's not the main building. Yet that was the building that a lot of stuff was going on. The main building was over by Central Park, ABC, the headquarters. So it was a cool gig. I saved some money at the time, you know, before my mom's got the house, she gave me the place, what I'm saying, that I stayed at, and she got the house with my sister and my brother and them, all that other stuff. Well, he's not my brother, because, yeah, half brother. Anyway, yeah. So, what this young man is experiencing, I could dig it, like it's different than when I was coming up because the money was decent. You could do a lot. At the time, my first gig, I made what, $5.75 an hour. Yeah, believe it or not. In 1998, The minimum wage was $5.75. I got me this speed bike. You know, I saved a lot of money. Got me a speed bike with the jumps jumping up and down. It was cool. You know, so yeah, you could save some money, and then there's going to be times that you're going to have to spend that money to do what you need to do. So let's continue. It's always important. If companies were to do daily pay, they will get a lot more people to be around longer. Anyway, let's go.
when I'm like a visitor. Like like it felt amazing. So just not have to worry about like limiting myself when it came to like spending. I mean, like I did limit myself, but like I'm talking about when you got like 2 bands in your account and you can just spend it. Like nigga, who gonna stop? Who can stop you? You can't say no to a pretty face at that time. You really can't. You really cannot. You know, like it just felt amazing, bro. But now I'm in this point in my life now. I ain't gonna say I'm broke or anything. Well, shit, I kind of am today. I ain't gonna cap you down. Um, to where like I don't want to settle no more. Like I left the job that I was at once before, was because it was a messy environment. The manager was trying to get at me. Yeah, I got a whole nother story on that.
And that does go on. That does go on a lot of these places. You can't stay around too long. You got to have peace and sanity. People getting on your nerves, people monitoring you because you're not go along, get along, with the crowd. You're pretty much trying to do what you need to do. You're trying to save as much as possible for a rainy day. And then these people come out of nowhere, want to start drama with you because they're not happy with their own life. Let's continue.
Um, and I started school in June, so like I had to get away from that job and just find something better. Oh my God, I'm at my mom's house. It's usually quieter, but I usually was just thinking about everything, right? And so I found another job, and I work at Circle K now, and I just found another job, which is to be a bellboy at a hotel, and it's really like the only job like I can seem to find that has really got back to me since then. I think I applied for like 10 jobs, or maybe like a week or two ago, and that's the only job that I can get that would come back to me. And I noticed when I filled out the application that I was just like, bro, I'm tired of like looking at the pay. And it's not worth my time going to the job. Like I have responsibilities. Like I have a car, bro. Like me making 12 an hour and only working the weekends is not gonna cut me being able to, provide for myself and pay things on that as well for, my phone, and like other many things, like
And those things you do need. You have to have a phone that's going to work, feasible. You know, in this day of time, phones used to last a lot longer, depending on who you talk with. Certain phones last a lot longer than other phones. However, there comes a time you're going to have to get certain services to keep up of what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? So I get what the young man is saying. It's a lot of stuff that comes with it. Bills are your relationship, y'all. Bills have come a lot of people's relationship. You know. Let's continue.
that goes into life. And like I don't know if I can bring myself to go to another interview knowing that like I don't want to do that. Like I mean, like I want to work in the hospitality industry. I mean, I kind of figured out what I want to go to school for. I think I came close to making a good decision. I ain't gonna cap you down, but I don't want to like just settle just for anything or just any little job, and like that ain't me. I'm tired of just getting a job just to get a job, just to do that, and I just can't do it no more, bro. I'm just trying to think what I'm gonna say. I'm keeping all this in the video. I do all these in one take, bro. But like I don't know like what you do like to not settle. Like, and it's hard to like what I'm saying like not settle. And I can see like why a lot of adults do, you know. But like
He said, I could see why a lot of adults do. He's talking about people my age group. They have a different mindset than a lot of us. the mindset we have. Some of us is realizing it now. Yeah, he's seeing it at an early age. So his channel, let's get his channel some visibility. It's called Corey. I'm gonna subscribe to his channel to see what he talks about. He got a video talking about I lost my job and car in the same day. We'll do a different video on that. So I subscribe to his channel. I want to see what he's talking about. All right, let's go.
I just feel like I can't bring myself to do that, you know. And I don't want to stay at the job that I'm at because they pay the exact same. That's what makes it even worse. Like my both of them jobs pay the exact same amount, but on the other hand, one gets paid plus tips. And really, I don't know how much, you know, the bill position will pay with the tips. I don't know how often they get tips because when I worked at Olive Garden, like you know, like I wasn't making like the hourly wage. If you work at Olive Garden or any restaurant, you know, like you know what I'm saying, like you're not getting paid the hourly wage. You're getting paid like I think like maybe two or three an hour or something like that. Or I think mine was six. It was something. I think it's half that or a fraction of it, but you're getting paid plus the tips on that. So though I wasn't making that hourly wage of $12, I was making all that back with tip money. Like, cause you know, at Oliver, I think it's like shared into like one big pot that's split between the servers and the busters. Well, no, yeah, it's basically like that. Basically like that. It's something like that. And I make it home. I'm taking home like a day like 60 a day plus the hours plus the check at the end of the week for my hourly wage. So that was some decent bread just for the little part time hours I was working. Like it was amazing. Like I ain't gonna lie, I really felt like that damn man, you know. And like, I just don't know, bro. Like I was so upset about just been thinking about this early. Like I wish I could have made this video early, but my brother was at my house, just talking a lot of shit. I couldn't really gather myself to like have the train of thought to think and to say what I want to say. So this
Yeah, it be a lot of distractions. It do be like that. It be a lot of distractions. People come out of nowhere to distract you from what you're supposed to do. So I get that part. All right, let's continue.
video probably would have been better. But I just thought I'd just come out and say that like I really am tired of settling, bro. Like for these little dumbass jobs, like it's just not it. I'm tired of it, bro. And I got my content on the way. This is probably not a good video, but it's just on to get out the way. You know what I'm saying? This is so I got hella ideas on the way, and yeah, I'm finna make another one right now. You feel me? Y'all ugly as hell.
So we'll keep up to date with him on future content. Johan says, I know that subject well. I was underestimated in every area in my life. Yeah, it be like that. It be like that. It be like that for the most part. You know, a lot of people got to realize that God in Christ is the answer. The thing though, the truth of the matter is, all of us, for the most part, most of us, not all of us, most of us are spending more time not only paying bills, spending more time at these companies. And when you look at the end of the week, you try to breathe and you have a doubt in your mind like, oh my goodness, I got to pay this, I got to pay that. And you know the company you work for, you got to have transportation to get to point A to point B. And it could take longer. So that's an additional time, transportation. And they know that. Do they care? No, they don't care. They don't care about your situation. They care about the migrants over you. I'm going to show you something that was said. Let's go to it right now. I'm going to show you something. Matter of fact, I don't have to show you. I don't have to play the whole. I don't have to play it. You can see it right here. Look at this. It says 22 billion in funding, free housing, and call for migrants. Let's listen to what Trump says.
$22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+.
All right, we're going to stop it right there. So you get the memo of what's going on, y'all. You get the memo of what's going on and what's happening, what's transpiring. You know, don't give your all to these people, y'all, because you are spurting too much energy to them. And in return, you're giving back 80% to someone else, which is them. And then they go spend it on other people and have you work for them. And that's what's going on. So, hey, if this video really resonate with you, I would not be stressed out with these folks. I will just figure out ways to remove myself from these people when I know I deserve better and want better. You got to think big, y'all. The days of just getting by, it's going to make a lot more people irritated if they're not on point with God and Christ, of course. There's a lot of people crashing out in these working environments, and they bringing their frustrations to the homes of the people they live with. It's not fair to them. However, this is going on. There's a lot of dispute going on in these houses, y'all. And you can see it when you go to the site. You can see it in the people's face, like they don't want to be there. They just accept the disrespect. Don't let these people disrespect you. They disrespect you more by giving the migrants more money than you. And you born here and you live here most of your life. Not only they take care of the migrants here, they take care of the migrants in other parts of the world. It's crazy. It's crazy. So with that said, I've been on for about 35 minutes. The chat is pretty quiet. And I know there's some people that can't stand me is watching because they got nothing else better to do with their life. So the only ones that came in the chat was Johann and Corey. Most of the people that's watching, it is what it is. There's definitely something in the air in this month of October. However, the likes is only 9 likes. We only got 9 likes. So, all right, Johann and Corey, and to those of you who are in the clouds, I catch y'all in the next one. Y'all just be easy out there. Don't give these people all of your time. You're going to have to figure out how to navigate yourself from that situation to where you don't have to depend on them for the rest of your life. Brown royalty to the people, we the business.